What's poppin'? It's Mo, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastards.
Get dog, we lit again. We arrived when they asked to bring them real ones in. Fuck me good.
All right, y'all, we got one of the biggest jumping off the porch with us today, Mo.
What's poppin'?
How are you feeling?
I'm good, how you?
I'm feeling good. Now, I'm excited to talk about your journey with music because you've had a lot of accomplishments under your belt. But before we get into the music, you know we got to get into your background. So we already know you from Orlando, Florida. So talk about Orlando and the culture out there.
Orlando cool. I think we just, we finding the culture now.
Yeah.
I think over the years we had like some success. You know, obviously it's the theme park world out there, but you know, it's a whole other side to that too. Like,
Okay, so
West Orlando.
Talk about the other side of Orlando, because I'm not gonna lie, you know, when everybody hears Orlando, they thinking of like how you said, like the amusement side of it, but there's actually a whole other side that people don't get to see.
Oh yeah, that shit like everywhere else. Orlando gutter for real. Like, I'm good. It's hoods all over the place. It's all type of Pine Hills, Mercy Drive, Rosemont. It's hoods everywhere. You know, Silver Star and Tangelo. It's little pockets of hoods everywhere, just like everywhere else. But you know, that shit get gritty, but, you know, as for me, I wasn't never in that mix, you know what I'm saying? I was a ball player, you know what I'm saying? I stayed out the street, I stayed out of trouble as much as I could. You know, niggas did what they had to do, you know, sold a little weed, might boost a little shit here and there just to make money, but other than that, I stayed out the way. I played ball and was in school.
What would you say Orlando really teaches you as a man?
Shit, it's tough to make it out of Orlando, so really the hustle. If you ain't got no hustle, you're gonna be stuck there. Nothing changes there. Like, I move, but, you know, whenever I go back to visit, it's the same shit, same people, same shit going on, same clubs, same people in the club, same, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no hustle, you're gonna be there stuck forever.
Right.
For sure.
What type of mindset would you say that you need to have to be able to make it out of Orlando?
I think you just gotta see more. I think the more you see, the more you'll wanna get up out of there. Like, I did a lot of traveling as a kid, like with basketball and shit, so I was going to Vegas at 14 years old. I was going to see, you know, going to LA, going to this place to hoop and all that shit. So the more I seen, the more I was like, it's a lot more to life than just, you know what I'm saying, these city limits. So I just feel like mindset wise, you just gotta want more for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's real limited there, like it's a ceiling there for sure. Great city though, you know what I'm saying? I got it tatted on my arm and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I rep it to the death, but it's a lot more you gotta want out of yourself for sure.
Okay, so with Orlando, is it like one of those things where you see the amusement park and like all of those things that we already know Orlando for, and then you step outside of that and you like right in the hood?
It's not that close. I mean, it's hoods everywhere, wherever you go, but it's not that close. It's like Disney's actually in Kissimmee. That's like some miles away from the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like 30 minutes away from where the hood at. It ain't that close. The hood, it's the hood right by Universal though. Universal Studios.
Yeah.
The hood probably 3 minutes up the road, legit.
Now, as far as you playing ball, what happened to the hoop dreams?
Ain't that happened to it. It's just, you know, shit got tired of it.
Yeah.
Injuries happen. Playing for certain coaches that I didn't like, and it was cool. I transferred to hella schools though. I went to hella colleges. But it was cool though while I was doing it. I still play sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I love hooping still for sure.
Now, music, how did that come into play, and what did your journey look like in the very beginning?
Well, my dad and my uncle, both DJs. My uncle actually is my DJ. But both of them, you know what I'm saying, growing up, my dad had a room with hundreds of thousands of records in it, like vinyl records. So he would play them all types of night and shit, like when I was a kid. And I used to go in the room and chill with him. And then my uncle was a DJ in the city. He DJ'd 5, 6, 7 nights a week. So I used to go with him sometimes to the club and be the jit in the club with all them while he DJing. And he used to do team parties, all type of shit. So I've been around music for forever. But my transition to actually rapping, I used to be able to freestyle like very good. Like as a jit, I used to freestyle and not mess up. So like niggas just put beats on and be like, bro, freestyle. So I used to freestyle and never mess up and be like on point with the shit. So when hooping kind of started transitioning for me, that's when I kind of started diving into it to see if I could really do it. So, and that's how we got here.
So with you first diving into it, did you know that you was gonna make it like a full-time career like you have been?
That was the goal for sure, yeah. Cause I didn't finish college, so like I ain't had like no degree to go get a job or some shit. I was just working, you know what I'm saying, like at Boys and Girls Club or at a gym or refereeing, doing shit like that, just hustling, trying to get money. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do, just to continue. I'm hustling now too, it's a different hustle, but I knew that 9-to-5 hustle or like that, you know, scrapping for money hustle was what I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? So I knew I wanted to do some other shit. And I had the hustle in me for sure, always. So I knew music was something that I could do for sure.
What were some things that you had to get through while pursuing your music career in the beginning?
Shit. Everything. Getting people to listen. Getting people to take this shit serious for one, because I was a hooper, like I told you. So.
Oh yeah. So everybody in the city knew you as a hooper.
As a basketball player,
okay.
yeah. So niggas knew me they still do. You know what I'm saying? Even when like now, if you see me post something, and I'll post like a basketball video or something, niggas will post like, this the Deontay I know. Which, you know what I'm saying? Or this the Moes I remember. You know what I'm saying? So it's like getting them to take it serious for one was the toughest part, because I was putting it out and it was good, but it was like, oh, I mean, everybody raps, so why would we take you serious? And then the more I kept putting it out, and when I finally got, we'll get to that I'm sure, but my homie Ayo, the producer, he's like a Grammy award-winning producer. He produced WAP for Cardi B, but he produced my Out of There song that went viral. When he posted a picture of me and him like sitting at a table chilling, that's all of a sudden when everybody started taking it serious, like, oh shit, he with him?
Yeah.
Oh, he must actually be doing something. So then from that point forward, I feel like people started taking it serious.
As an artist in the beginning, is it frustrating when you don't get the support that you're expecting?
I think it's still like that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily in the beginning. I think, period. I think everybody feel like that though. I wouldn't say frustrating. It's just more so disappointing, because it's like you don't get the support from people that you actually know. You know what I'm saying? Like people who you with every day, like they won't even post your shit. You know what I'm saying? But they'll post whoever else shit. They'll post Sally Mae shit, and they ain't never even met Sally Mae before. You feel me? But I think it's more so disappointing than frustrating.
Yeah, I would say I've always tried to figure out that theory, because that's definitely a true thing that the people closest to you will not support, but outsiders will come in and like support you like the people that are close to you are supposed to.
Yeah, for sure, and it's weird. I don't understand that. It's like is these niggas scared to see you do good? And it's crazy too, because it's like, nigga, if I do well, you don't think I'm gonna look out for you? You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense to me, but it is what it is.
So I would want to ask you, your grind with getting noticed outside of the city, what did that look like?
My first initial passageway to getting out of the city, I had linked up with Aaron Gordon, the basketball player. So he pulled up to the studio one night. He pulled up on us, and I was in a booth actually recording Out of There, which is crazy. And he pulled up, you know, just came chopped it up, because he does music too. Came and chopped it up. He told me to pull up to his house, pulled up, been kicking it ever since. It's like my brother. But he was doing shit like he was going to like LA, he was going to New York, he was going to different cities, and he was having me come with him. So that was how I started to get out the city. And we was getting the DJs to play it in New York and in Chicago, and then whatever city we was going to, I was just floating with him. He was inviting me, I was going, and that's what kind of helped. So then from that point forward, my shit started stretching. And then I got my song on 2K. So when I got it on 2K20, that's kind of when it became I guess a global type of thing.
Yeah, when did you feel like you personally made it, or do you still feel like you're chasing that?
Oh, I still ain't made it yet at all. I know when I made it, but I ain't made it yet, for sure. I'm doing well, absolutely. I'm doing good, but I ain't made it yet. When I make it, niggas gonna know.
No,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it won't be no hiding shit. When I make it, niggas gonna know.
And I know you did sign a deal with Epic, so just talk about being under a label and how that even came about for you.
Oh yeah, the song went viral, like I said, on TikTok. And that's what got me. I was in a bidding war with every label. I went with Epic. They came correct. They came aggressive. And it was cool. It was all right. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to have a little team, but I just feel like now, knowing what I know now, being back independent, I wouldn't sign with a label until I done blew up already, probably, or unless it makes sense. But it was all right. It was an experience. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I wouldn't advise anybody to sign too early. You know what I'm saying?
So you signed, when you say you signed, okay, so basically with you saying that, you must have signed early.
Yeah, I feel like I signed early.
What's early?
Like before I built out my brand, I signed a record deal.
Okay, so that's been a thing now because I've been seeing a lot of artists get signed off of like one song. They only got one song out, no body of work, no catalog, one video.
But I had bodies of work out though.
You had bodies of work? Okay.
Yeah, I had bodies of work out and videos, for sure. But that wasn't, people didn't know me by that. People knew me by that one song. So I just don't think anybody should sign a deal until they like build a brand out and You know what I'm saying? Get in
Yeah.
front of a lot.
Okay,
you know what
so let me ask you this: signing off of one song, is it pressure to keep making songs like the song that you got signed off of?
Nah, because even for me, I didn't expect that shit. So it wasn't like I was going to continue to try to make out of theirs. That wasn't the goal. I just made music. You know what I'm saying? Like the music, my first love before anything. Like all this shit now that they try to get you to do, like, oh, you gotta get on Instagram and do this, and we gotta be artists and the fucking marketing plan, and we gotta do all this shit. It's like, what a product manager for? What is this person for? What is that for? If we still gotta do everything. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be focused on the music, and I feel like it's their job to kind of market the shit. So, but now we gotta do everything at this point. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little unfair to artists for sure, but at the end of the day, shit, we signed up for it. So as the time adjusts, we gotta adjust. That's just how the shit works.
Now, going to being signed to a major like Epic and going independent, I think most people would be like, well, why would you do that? And I really want to hear your perspective on what it was like for you coming up under like a major label and then reverting back to being an independent artist.
Yeah, I think the TikTok shit for me, I think I kind of skipped a ton of steps. You feel what I'm saying? So now with being back independent, I feel like I'm back on the ground having to build the shit back up. So when I get back to that point, it actually makes sense this time. Like I skipped a shit ton of steps. I signed in the pandemic. There's a lot of shit I just didn't do because I had a song doing millions of streams. I didn't link with DJs and PDs. I didn't do none of that shit that you're supposed to do and build the relationships that you should, because I jumped straight to a major. So now that I'm back independent because the situation didn't work out, now I'm building that shit back up so I can get to the point where I want to go.
So how's that been for you?
It's a grind. It's a grind for sure. It's
Yeah.
a grind. I wish I would have did this first and then got to the major instead of going major and coming back, but it's all good.
I would say, did you kind of feel a little pressure when the labels were coming after you off of your song to where you ended up signing instead of waiting?
Hell yeah, like, God don't make no mistakes, you feel me? Like, you're gonna be where you're supposed to be at, but for sure, if I could look at now and go back to what I did, I absolutely would have went a different direction, for sure. Absolutely.
So, what advice would you give to artists who may be thinking about signing or they're in a rush to sign to a major label?
If you got the opportunity to do so, I would definitely say do it, but I would say do it with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it depending on them at all. Whatever money they give you, reinvest it into your shit. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you a mechanic, you know what I'm saying, and you do a job and you make a bunch of money, so you're supposed to go buy more tools, you know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to necessarily go blow it on whatever. So I would say whatever money they give you, reinvest it into yourself and don't depend on a major.
Now, with that being said, what has been the craziest part of your independent journey?
The craziest part of my independent journey?
Or the hardest part?
I would really say just kind of staying connected to the people I met when I was with a major. Like, you know, now when you're independent, shit like high school, like when you with a certain crowd or a certain group, certain people fuck with you when you're not there, like they ain't never know you, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really about like, staying connected with these motherfuckers and you know what I mean? Staying in the loop, because I'm not with the major side no more. So it's not like I can walk up to somebody and be like, oh, I'm with Epic. When I would do that, when I would do that, I just walk in the door, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, I'm with me. It's like, oh, who are you? You know what I mean? It's just a little different. That's
Now
all.
let's get into your single Rumble, because I saw the music video, so I'm like, was they really throwing hands like behind you while you was rapping?
It looked like it, right?
It did.
Yeah,
So I'm
listen.
like, hold up, let me ask if these was stunt doubles, like what was going on for real?
Shout out to the actors. Shout out Jerry too, my homie Jerry. He directed it, fire directed, super fire. That video shoot was fun. It was long, but that video shoot was like 15 hours.
15 hours?
Yeah, it was all
Why
day.
was it taking that long?
Like the setup, the breakdown. You seen the video? You see how big it looked, like the cage and all that, the different type of scenes. It was a lot.
It reminded me of, gosh, it was a Kimbo Slice.
Yep.
Was that
I was supposed to be fighting Kimbo.
Okay, so that was that like the reference?
Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace.
Okay, yeah, Kimbo Slice. That's what I was getting from it, because I remember I watched his like whole documentary thing, and it was just showing how he came up with like the street fighting, and he was from Florida, so that
that was some shit we used to watch on YouTube, like as kids.
like the Kimbo Slice fighting.
We used to just watch him fight in the backyard and shit. Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But it was also trending as well, #1 on social media.
on
So
Twitter.
talk about that.
It was dope. That was dope. I was not expecting that at all, not even a little bit. It's just when I posted it on my Twitter. It just picked up traction. I guess people like the clip. I think Riff Raff might have retweeted it, and I think that's what got it going.
Oh, yeah.
I think I seen Riff Raff. He got like a huge Twitter following, so I think from him, it just started going up. Yeah.
Is it kind of like a pinch me moment whenever it's like things like your song's going viral on TikTok, they going viral on Twitter, just all over social media?
Pinch me? Nah, I'd be grateful, bro. Like, cause I ain't starting this music shit. I ain't had no big homie. I ain't had no family, no cousin that was in the music industry in the front office somewhere, no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I started this journey really just me and God. So whenever I have any type of success, it's really a blessing for sure.
Now you're dropping a project very soon, Motivation.
Yeah, July 14th.
Let's talk about the project and the creative process. You gotta take us through the journey, the inspirations, the whole everything.
Yeah, the inspiration when I put the rollout out, probably the week of, I'm thinking, probably like starting that Monday. You'll understand it a little more, but it's really just, and that's why it's called motivation, like MOE and motivation, because it's really me motivating myself. Like I'm self-motivated, everything I do, nobody forced me to get out of bed. I ain't got no job I gotta clock into to make money. Like if I don't get up and do it, it ain't gonna happen. So that's really, you know what I'm saying, the standpoint of what I took on that. That's the angle I got on this was, shit, it's just me. So let's figure it out.
Now, with this body of work, what would you say is like the time you really put into it?
Oh shit, a long time. I mean, it probably took, it's a song on there, I think the oldest song on there probably from 2019.
2019?
Yeah, it took it took a few years to make, but I did shit in between that. Like, you know, when I did the Zay project, I did that in a couple days in between that. Like I did other shit in between that, but this specific body of work, yeah, I've been trying to get it out for a couple years. Sure.
Now, the name of the title, what does that mean to you?
Motivation. I'm self-motivated. It's me motivating myself. It's me. It's all on me. Everything is on me.
So I'm sure from 2019 to up until now with this project, you've had to go through a lot of different growths, like a lot of different changes. So let's dive into that if you want to.
A lot of shit changed as far as like who I'm around on a daily basis, my circle, my influences, all that type of shit. That's changed big time. And then, you know, just honestly dealing with the harsh reality of like, people change, you know what I'm saying? Like the people you started this shit with is not who you gonna finish with. It's not, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go with you. So I would say that's the biggest thing. And then just kind of stepping into more so of a leader role, because when I started, I was such a sponge. I was just learning. And I'm still that, depending on the circumstance. But now, with like my other guys like back home, like my young niggas like my brother, Moolah McGrady, he an artist. My young nigga, Freddie Kane, my other homie, TJ. Like, I've been in the industry for a few years now, so now I'm kind of who they look to ask questions and all that type of shit. So kind of going from, like I said, sponge to the leader role been kind of the biggest adjustment.
Okay, so with also that being said, I want to ask, when it comes to coming in with people and no longer having them around, how long would you say you started to accept that everybody just can't make it with you to the top?
That shit a hard pill to swallow. Like
that's all I was saying. That's what I'm asking.
That shit a hard pill to swallow. Like even with me with certain situations with niggas, I was in denial for a minute. Like, nah, this nigga ain't really tripping like this. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't really changing up on me like that. And it was like that had to be for a minute. I would say it took me like a good year to realize like, oh, these niggas really like not for you. You know what I'm saying? It took probably like a good year. But once you realize that shit, just like anything else, it is what it is.
Right. So would you say like that was some of the inspirations that you had to go through with making Motivation?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Yeah, the bars on there, you'll hear it for sure. I got a song in there like called How the Game Go, and I talk about all that. It's like when you hot, they on your dick. When you not, they forget. That's how the game go. And she can be with you today, and tomorrow she'll be somebody else's chick. That's how the game go. Like I talk about all that.
What vibes can we expect with this project?
A bunch of slaps, bangers. Zaytoven on there. I got Ayo on there. I got Twisted Genius. Like, you know, I got the producers on there. For sure.
Yeah, you coming crazy.
Yeah. I got some shit on there. Bangers for sure, but then I got some ones on there too when I'm opening up. You know what I mean? Letting it out.
Is this your first project where you actually get to be more vulnerable than you usually would?
Oh, for sure. Usually I'm just making like fun music. Like I make like that. lifestyle bop shit. Like I don't know shoot 'em up bang bang shit, but my music got a feel to it. Like before I was, dripping like I'm walking on water and shit like that. Now
Hey,
I'm
my
opening
daughter
up.
was singing the one that's on TikTok, like, let's get to the money, let's get to the money, let's
Right.
get to the
Addicted to finessing. Yeah, shit like
Addicted
that.
to finessing was
Addicted to
one of them
finessing.
ones.
Yeah, shit like that.
Okay, so we getting a whole different vibe.
Yeah, it's none of that. As you can see from the first thing, from Rumble, it's none of that. And then the one I just put out yesterday, Basic, that's like a chick record. So I never put out a chick record before, you know what I'm saying? So that was, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you hopping into the bags.
Yeah.
So after Motivation that's dropping in July, what's next for you?
Hold Up Mo, me and Ayo, the homie that did the Out of There song, we got a whole project. So that motherfucker is fire.
Man.
Fire. That's for the city though, that's for Orlando. We're doing that for the city. We like Shaq and Fendi in Orlando, so.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
That's lit.
For sure.
And before we wrap up, do you have any last words or shout outs? Actually, you can pop your shit towards the end. I could finally cuss. Man, for those who don't know, you gotta let them know.
Nah, they know, and if they didn't know, they about to find out soon. Mo is on the motherfucking way, please believe it.
All right. Oh, you wanna do some more shout outs or?
Nah, shout out to God, that's the main one, you know that. And we Gucci from there. Shout out Orlando too. That's what I do it for the city for sure.
We lit again. We arrived when they asked to bring them real.